will they be met this time around? And Shubedu, you're smiling out there. India's national capital, they say the heart of the country, Delhi, Dil hai Bharat ka. What are the set of aspirations this time around? You've been talking to a lot of students, people by and large in general. So from a common man's perspective, what is it that you have sensed as far as the list of expectations from Madam Finance Minister is concerned?
Oh, well, Sakal, good morning,
Good
first
morning.
of all. But this budget has a lot of expectation for the middle class. The middle class have been expecting a lot from this budget, primarily, as my colleague was also mentioning, about reducing of the income tax slab. So, of course, that is one of the key aspects that will be looked into when it comes to the middle class, because it will give a lot of more money into the hands of these working class people. And yesterday, remember, Sakal, the Prime Minister also mentioned about the middle class. Even the President's address in the Parliament yesterday featured middle class, and therefore it is expected that there could be a change in the income tax slabs, giving more money into the hands of the middle class or the working class people, which will of course return back to the economy, because the expenditure capacity of the people of the working class will increase, and therefore that money will come back to the economy, spurting the economic growth further. So of course that is one of the key aspects which most of the people have been talking about on ground. And apart from that, Sakal, inflation is also one of the key aspects. Particularly food inflation. Food inflation is also one of the key aspects that is being talked about, and it is believed that the government would perhaps take some key measures to reduce inflation in the coming time. The government says that it has confidence in the Indian economy to reduce food inflation, but therefore. And the food inflation that rose over the last couple of years is, of course, because of the geopolitical conditions across the globe, and it is not an India-specific factor. So, of course, some key measures could be seen announced by the Union Finance Minister to tackle inflation. And apart from that, the manufacturing sector needs much-needed boost. The government have been talking about Make in India for a very long time, and the manufacturing sector could see some incentives. And apart from that, also, the green sector, which includes, the EVs, the other clean energy sector, which has been a focus of the government over the last couple of years, could also see some incentives being given to these particular sectors when it comes to both manufacturing as well as service and other allied services in this sector.
Yes, since you have to leave for Parliament, a very quick one on the education sector. There's a long list of, wish list rather, as far as students are concerned.
Well, that's right. The government, remember, Sakal, I remember in one of the budgets, Nirmala Sitharaman did talk about, setting up of universities which will focus on research, and the government's then bringing out a policy of Anusandhan. So these are some of the key factors, because research is one of the key factors for driving the growth, not just growth, Sakal, but also in driving innovation. And the government's focus have been over the last couple of years on innovation, on research labs, etc. So a lot could be seen on a package perhaps being announced on this tinkering labs, on research, and pumping in more money into the education system, setting up more universities. The education sector perhaps could see an increase in the budget allocation, and apart from the education sector, Sakal, one key aspect is also on the health sector. The health sector could also see some big announcements in the health sector, because a lot of people on the ground have been talking about, the health sector as well as the education, which is two key aspects for a nation's growth. So, of course, these two sectors will also be on focus, is what is expected from the Union Finance Minister.
Okay, just few hours to go. Thank you very much, Dibendu, for joining us. And